Let's look at the experience you have when you first install Simply Goals and Tasks. Look at some of the features and see what makes it different from other task planner apps. I've just put a fresh install of Simply Goals and Tasks on this phone, and pretty quickly you see a pop-up to allow push notifications. We get this notification because Simply Goals and Tasks, like most apps, uses push notifications. And I'm so used to seeing these on web pages, I almost reflexively hit no, and you could hit no if you want. But the reason that this feature is here is to enable two features. One is task reminders that you turn on, and it's an option to be reminded for all tasks, high priority tasks, or just turn off and have none of that. And the second feature, the second type of push notification, is some kind of reminders for you to plan your day or open up the app if you haven't done that. And I would leave those on, although I understand if you don't want them. Change is hard, and right now you're organizing your tasks in some way, and presumably you don't like that way, or because you're shopping around for other task management apps and planner apps. So you want to change, and change is hard. So a couple push notifications to remind you that, hey, you installed this app and you want to try to use it every day. I don't think it's a bad thing. And you could always turn it off later, either in the app settings or in the Android system settings. You can always super override it and block notifications from there. But yeah, change is hard, and it takes more than just that one decision to install an app for you to actually start using it and being more organized. So I would really recommend leaving them on, and so I'll hit allow. So here we have a little splash screen. I'm going to show you some features, but you don't need that because you've got me. Let's get started. Now we're at the create account screen. You don't have to create an account. In fact, we're not going to today. The reason you would want to create an account is if you suddenly lose your phone, you can sign into a new device, a new phone, and get all your data back. We live out of our planners. So we at Simply.Digital think having a backup of your data and being able to access it if you lose your device is just a really absolute critical feature. And the only reason we ask for your email is so that you can send yourself a password reset email. And we do not sell your data. We are a small company trying to build something that we love and we hope you love. And we would never compromise the integrity of our work with shady practices like that. So if you are committed to giving this app a try, I would say go ahead and create an account now. But if you're still testing the water, go ahead and hit skip, and you can do it later. And again, it's only an email password that you need, and you just literally need an email in order to do password resets. But for this demo, I'm going to hit skip. Am I sure? Yes, I am. Okay, and now we have a little spotlight demo. You can skip this, but it's pretty short, although in this video I'm going to talk a lot and make it longer. All right, let's get started. First, it's showing you that the planner has this bottom navbar where you can jump between daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly planners. Let's start in monthly. The monthly planner has the space broken down by weeks, as well as the space at the bottom that's just for this month, no specific week yet. Your monthly and yearly planners are for long-term planning. Day to day, you'll be in your daily and weekly planner. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, same thing. Okay, now we're gonna go and see the week. Just like the monthly planner is broken down by weeks, the weekly planner is broken down by days. Same mechanics, just zoomed in. So you've got Monday through Sunday, and then a section for things that are still not scheduled but gonna get done this week. What day the week starts at is a setting. I really like Mondays, even having grown up in the US, to me just kind of makes sense, but you can do whatever you want in settings. And I know for me, and for most adults with some control over how we spend our time, this is how life actually works. For me, I have 1,000 tasks that have to be done this week, but virtually none of them need to have to get done today. So this is really what makes Simply Goals and Tasks unique. So let's say I've got my 1,000 tasks, something like 50 hours worth of work for this week, and it's still all in that bottom sometime this week, not sure when section. And none of them, maybe one or two of them, actually have to get done Monday. But if I'm gonna get all of them done by the end of the week, a seventh or a fifth of them do actually have to get done Monday. So for a more concrete example, I recorded this video on a Tuesday. Yesterday, Monday, I had a lot of urgent tasks after a really busy weekend. And I know tomorrow, Wednesday, it's gonna be too noisy in here for me to be able to record. And so that brings me to Thursday and Friday, which is pretty late in the week, and I'm going to have some follow-up tasks in order to finish this video that I have to do after it's recorded. So even though there's no deadline or real specific reason that this video needs to be recorded today on Tuesday, once I could see my week, once I was planning my week, it was really obvious that actually this is the day that it does have to be done. So then I pretty easily just drag and drop it from the anytime this week up into Tuesday. And this is really important that I was able to schedule the task for just this week, because last week when I said I was going to record this video this week, I didn't know all those things. So I would have just picked a random day, maybe I would have picked Monday. But then when I saw all those more urgent tasks, I would have postponed it. And one, that's overhead. You know what? Overhead, we reschedule things all the time. And also when you're rescheduling things all the time, it makes your schedule feel meaningless. It makes it feel like it's not important to stick to. It can make you feel bad about yourself that you're always postponing things. You really want, when you say you're going to do it sometime, even if that time's super general, like this month, it actually means something. Or maybe instead of Monday, I would have said I'm going to record the video Wednesday. And I actually can't record on Wednesday. Maybe I didn't notice that until it was Wednesday. And then by that point, ask gets postponed to Thursday, and that really means that the video wouldn't have gotten done this week. Okay, back to the app itself. We are here in the weekly planner. Nice little features highlighting here is you can click on the header for any day in the weekly planner, and it'll jump to that day in the daily planner. Next. Okay, yeah, we're gonna zoom into our daily planner. Next. Okay, so this is a task. Gonna hit next again. So every task has a status. If you tap through, we'll cycle through them. You can see all the different ones. Next, okay, this little button here will hide or show done tasks. You might have to hit it again to refresh if the view is changed. What I always use this button for is to go back to last week, hide all my done tasks, and then I can really easily see if anything kind of got forgotten. Okay, moving on. All right, now it wants to explore the rest of the app, but we'll do that later on together. Okay, here we are. So the app gives you these two little starter tasks to begin with. That first one was just going through the tutorial we just finished, so that's why it's done. The second one here is to plan your week, and there's some info here to sort of give you more info about how to use the app. And again, you can just tap on any task to see this sort of task detail screen. Change anything about it, like how much time you think you're going to spend on it, reschedule it. Here are the notes. And you can also change, it's a priority, maybe it's not a priority, maybe it's just an action. And the drag and drop works just like you would expect it to. I can move it to later tonight. I can move it to, unscheduled, which means just what it sounds like, that I'll do it sometime today, Tuesday, but I have no idea when. And this last little section, the postpone, if I put it there, it slides right over into Wednesday. You see there, unscheduled for Wednesday. And now we can jump to the weekly planner. And there you see the task we just moved from Tuesday to Wednesday. It's right there. And you see this little +1 under Tuesday. If we jump to Tuesday, we see one task in Tuesday, the welcome to the tutorial which we just did together, and it is set for a specific time. That's why it's in the weekly planner, because it's set for a specific time. The app assumes that once the task has a specific time, then you are not moving it around so much anymore in the weekly planner, that you're pretty sure you're going to do it at least on that day. So it kind of hides it so you can really focus on the tasks that you're probably still shuffling around. But if you do want to see it, you could always just hit that little +1, and there it is. You can see it again. Also, if you look to the right, and this is a feature I really love, see that little 5 minutes. So even when the task was hidden, it was still showing that we had 5 minutes of tasks scheduled for today, Tuesday. And this updates in real time. So you see there's two other starter tasks down here on the bottom. If I move one up to today, you see that time changes from 5 minutes to 35 minutes. So you can see we've got two more starter tasks here in the weekly planner. The first one is making categories. We're going to do that next. And the other one is to gather all your different to-do lists and get them all together and get them into the Simply Goals and Tasks app. So if you're shopping around for task management, solutions and apps right now, I'm guessing you don't love the system that you have right now, which probably maybe means you are trying out a few different things. And so probably means you've got different to-do lists just all over the place. So if you want to get yourself together, I really recommend you literally get all those to-do lists together in one place. And if you're going to give Simply Goals and Tasks a real try, get all those to-dos here in the app. I really think it's so important to have a solid to-do list, a task management system with everything in one place. That's the only way you can really know how busy you are. And if you don't know how busy you are, you don't know like if you can say yes to a new opportunity, or if you really just need to say no to something and and hustle to finish what you've already committed to. So yeah, I really recommend just like one system and really committing to one. All right, that's the daily planner and the weekly planner. That's what you can use day to day for actually like working on your tasks and schedule them in the short term. But for long-term planning, you're going to use the monthly and yearly planners. So let's jump over to the monthly planner. Oh, and now we see one more starter tasks, which is to create your account. So yeah, we were in the week here, gather all your tasks together. That's here. If we jump to the month, it still shows it for this week. And it's showing next week to make your account. If, again, you don't have to create an account, but if you're still using this a week from now, I'm just nervous for you that something's gonna happen to your phone and you're gonna like lose all your tasks and be so like lost. So yeah, if you're still using this a week from now and you haven't created an account, that task is there to remind you. But again, you don't actually have to. The app works fine. Looking closer here at the monthly planner, if you look at this week, as I'm recording this, that's October 8th to 14th. Oops, I didn't mean to jump. I just meant to point. But yeah, you see the one task that is scheduled for sometime this week. And that's there. We can actually see the task itself in the monthly planner. But then we see that little +3. These are the tasks that have been scheduled for something more detailed than just this week. So just like we saw in the weekly planner, the tasks for a specific time were hidden. Like monthly, like the exact same thing, just kind of changing the scale. Okay, and finally, let's jump to the yearly planner. This is for like the big planning, big projects like house projects and vacations. And also things that like you just sort of want to keep. Every task in Simply Goals and Tasks needs to be scheduled for time you're going to do it. But that schedule can literally just be sometime 2023 or even 2024. That's what these like unscheduled sections are for. Things that you want to keep on your radar for this time frame, but you're not really sure when you're going to do them yet. I look at my yearly planner exactly once a month when I'm doing my initial monthly planning. And I look at my monthly planner once a week when I'm planning each week. Maybe I'll check on it if I kind of know there's some unscheduled tasks. But in general, once a month from my yearly planner, once a week from my monthly planner, just like as I'm kind of moving tasks down the funnel from like, I know I'm going to do it sometime this month, sometime this week. I'm going to do it like Tuesday at 3 o'clock. Okay, that's the planner, but there's more. If I swipe from the very far edge like this, I open the main menu. This is actually like Android distinguishes these different gestures. So here, if I'm looking at today, I can kind of swipe to the side and I go yesterday, the day before, back to today, tomorrow, the next day. But if I swipe really far from the very edge, that opens up the menu. That's not an us thing, that's an Android thing to consider different gestures. Or you can also hit this 3-line button in the corner. And now we're in the main menu, and let's just quickly look at these. The first one is measurement. There's not a lot here because I haven't added any tasks even to this install yet. It's a fresh, clean install. But the cool thing about planning your tasks with an app, with the Simply.Digital, is then it becomes really easy for the app to like add up your time and calculate like analytics on where you're spending your time and when you're doing it. So yeah, that's what this is for. So after you've added some tasks, this becomes really cool. The planner is where we started. That's what that little house icon means. There's a setting if you want to open the app somewhere else, but I really like having it open up in the planner. Tasks, this is just a list. Personally, I'm almost never in the screen. I really like the planner view more, but if you want to see that big list of your tasks, that's what this is. All right, and now goals. That's where we're going next. In Simply Goals and Tasks, the goals are categories for your tasks. So you always have to have at least one. If you want to just like ignore the whole goals feature, you can just leave this one, rename it, change the color if you want. But most people actually really like this feature. You create categories for your tasks, color code them, and then bonus, in that measurement section we were in a minute ago, then you can really see which of these categories your time is going to, maybe too much time or not enough time, or you're hitting it just right. Every goal needs a name and a color. But the reason we call them goals is because you're going to set a goal for how much time you're going to spend on it. We have thought about renaming this to values or roles because this is not a place for a goal like go to Disney World, this is a place for a goal like exercise 1 hour a day. What I would recommend doing is on a piece of paper, laying out what your ideal day and ideal week look like. How many hours you're spending on, housework, how many hours you're spending on, your business if you're growing a business, and using that to fill this in. I have another video on goal planning where walk through step by step exactly that exercise. I think there's even a free spreadsheet for it. And I just really recommend going through that exercise regardless of using the app. It can really be revealing to see how much time you actually want to be spending on, different aspects of your life and what your ideal day really looks like. Because I would bet, without writing it down, in your head, your ideal day is more than 24 hours. So by going through that exercise, you can figure out what your actual ideal is. But for now, I'm going to fill this in with a couple common ones. Probably going to do a little speed up. Okay, so I've added some typical ones here, work, school, friends and family, fitness and housework. And the times I put in here add up to 65 hours a week. There are 168 total hours in a week. And, about a third of those you should be spending sleeping. I don't track my sleep in Simply Goals and Tasks, but if you would like to track your sleep, then you can absolutely just add a goal for that, and then every day see how much time you're spending there. I picked just some random colors here, but the idea is that you pick colors that you like and that you're going to enjoy looking at every day. We want the app to be beautiful and also to match you, or so is my demo here is my phone, but to be what what you're happy looking at. We want the app to look nice and not just another blue and white to-do list app. Okay, and if we jump back to that to the measurement section, now we can see that that ideal pie chart, it's filled in because we've filled in how we want to be spending our time. And here the reality, because our only finished task right now was that 5-minute task of walking through the tutorial. So far, 100% of our time has been on that miscellaneous goal. And also we can jump back to the planner app again. So right here, try to point there, that big plus button is the new task button, and you can see it is purple now. That is because the last goal that I touched in any way, the last goal that I created a new task for, in this case I actually just created the goal itself. The app is assuming I'm in that mindset right now, and that's the next task I'm going to be creating for. But let's take a look at this. So yeah, these are all of those goals, those categories that we just created. So this is the new task screen. It might look like a lot, but there's a lot of smart defaults here. Obviously, of course, every new task needs a name, the category goal that it belongs to, and here we're setting the duration, how long it's going to take to finish this task. And we have this quick slider here, which because the idea is you want to add tasks very quickly. But if you do need something more specific, more granular, then you can pop up this little dialog here with the more options button. And another weird little thing, you see we have 5-minute intervals here because it just makes it a lot faster to scroll through. But if you do want to be able to schedule a task for 7 minutes rather than just 5 or 10, that is a setting. Now for scheduling. This is not a deadline. This is when you're actually going to do this task. Now this screen might look a little overwhelming, but I think if you just spend 30 seconds here, you'll completely understand how it works. So the scheduling at Simply Goals and Tasks is a little unique. The way you can schedule a task for just this week or for Wednesday at 4 p.m. So because that's unique, the scheduling screen is also a little different than other things you've seen. But again, spend just 30 seconds here and I'm sure you'll get the hang of it. Now, I hit the new task button while looking at, I was actually looking at Thursday in the planner. So it defaulted to being scheduled for Thursday. Right. So if I close this out, I'm in Thursday, but if I go to today and hit new task, hit the schedule button, and see now it is scheduled for today because I was looking at today when I hit the new task button. But let's say, I don't actually want to do it today. I just want to do it sometime this week, or I want to do it in November, or just 2023, or, I can, say on the 20th at, 7:45. I think you can figure this out pretty quickly. It's an unusual. So these little check marks here, that's saying like, is that kind of granularity in play, or are we just looking at the week? I'm pretty sure you can figure it out. Okay, so still in that little scheduling section, we have the option for this to be a repeating task. Repeating tasks are a feature. It's a free feature to do like a simple repeating task every day, every week, every month, every year. But if you want a custom repeating task, something like once every 4 weeks, or every second Monday on the 10th, something a little more peculiar and specific, that is a paid premium feature. The idea with Simply Goals tasks is you can use it forever for free and like totally, completely live your life out of this app. And honestly, we're just happy that you love it. But if you are living your life, day to day on this app, and you're getting a lot of value from the app, then we're hoping at least some of you, you got a few extra bucks laying around, that some of you will pay to upgrade for those few extra, like nice to have, but not completely necessary, just like nice, features to, because you're living a life out of it. You want those couple extra features, and asking you just want to, support us at Simply.Digital so we can keep making the app better. Okay, so next is status. Again, we kind of saw that even when you're not in the task detail screen, you can kind of tap, to cycle through these. So let's see. The first one here is priority. So that will give this task like a little flag icon next to it and always sort it to the top. Actions just for like a regular to-do list item. Waiting is for just what it sounds like. This is, waiting for some other task that is dependent on to be done before, you can do this one. Done is for a finished task. That's pretty obvious, but like what's done versus canceled? Canceled is basically deleted. It's not going to count towards your time that you have done tasks, in this goal, in this category, but you're still going to be able to see it when you look at your planner or your tasks. They're still visible. Let me show the difference here. So if we look at this task, that was a new task screen. Now this is like an edit task screen. They're virtually the same. But here I have this little button here because you wouldn't delete a task you haven't created yet. So this is edit screen. Now we have this little menu here, and you can actually delete a task. And whereas canceled is just like, I'm not going to do this, but you leave it there, I don't care. Delete, like you won't see it anymore. And there's also that copy button. I like that copy button for when a task ends up taking longer than I think it's going to. So then when I've kind of run out of time to work on it today, I copy it, mark the first one done, and like slide, that copy into a new time where I'm gonna work on that task again. Okay, so let's get back to that main menu. Themes are another paid feature, another thing that's just nice to have, but you don't really need. You can select one of these, and it'll go into effect, and you can see what it looks like. But the next time you reload the app, it'll be back to the default. So let me just set it to default for now. Back to the main menu, the account screen here is my basic account info, including a link here to create account if you didn't do that yet, and about your standard about app about page. And so the only thing I skipped over was settings. And these are worth looking at. This is definitely where we put things that we don't want, like to clutter the main user interface. But if you're using this app every day, you might want to go through here and see if there's anything that you would like slightly different. Let me walk through them somewhat quickly. So what you see when you first open the app is the planner. You can change that, but I think that's really the best. And now, specifically, which planner do you see when you first open the app? I like daily. It defaults to weekly because, There's some people who, once you say what day you're going to do the task, that's good enough. You don't need to schedule your day minute by minute. So we figured that the daily task people, we are the kind of people that'll go through and set the setting. And then the next section is settings for a new task to make it as quick as possible to add new tasks. The default, like I kind of mentioned that, how the last, once you've added a task for housework, if that's one of your goals, the next task, it'll default to the same thing. That's kind of assuming you're in that mindset. Default schedule, that's only if you're in that list, that task list view. If you're in the planner view, it'll default to the whatever schedule that you're currently looking at, which we saw when I was looking at today. It defaulted to be scheduled to today. Duration, this is a great one to customize. If you tend to create tasks that are 10-minute tasks, most of the time, go ahead and change to the 10 minutes. 20 minutes is kind of like a nod to Pomodoro technique. And then this weird thing, the duration interval, that was what I mentioned before when you were at that default, how long is this task at a last screen? And I said every 5 minutes, but if you really want to make a task for 7 minutes, this is where you would change that. And this other one is kind of interesting. So I think of tasks, the name of the task is like a title. So I like it to be capitalized, every letter, like a title. But we actually got a user emailed us and she said that's over crazy, and she didn't want it like that. She just wants the first letter capitalized. So because we're a small company, we made a setting just for her. Actually, that 1 minute, this was also a user requested feature. We had a guy who records his run times, and he says 5 minutes isn't very great for recording a runtime, 5-minute intervals. So we just made it into a setting. So the nice thing about being a smaller company is that a few or even just one really passionate user with a great idea, you can absolutely become a feature in the app. Next up, I think it's pretty standard, your date format, your European or American styles. Same thing with the clock, do a 12 or 24-hour clock. The week start, I told you I just love my week starting on Monday, but do whatever you like. And then finally, notifications. We talked about this in the beginning when we had that operating pop-up, do you want it to set notifications? So let's really look at this, because this is where you set notification preferences right here in settings. So do you want to get a little push notification on your phone about tasks? And here you can choose, maybe you want it for just high priority tasks. By default, it shows you priority tasks and action. Action is just a normal to do, so it's up to you what you want there. And then with these other settings here so let's say you have a task scheduled for today. What time do you want to be reminded about that task for today? Do you want the reminder in the morning, or do you want it in the afternoon to make sure I haven't done it yet, remind me if I haven't done it by the afternoon? So, and the same thing for the week. If you have a task that's sitting in just the, sometime this week, section of your planner, do you want to be reminded about that on Monday or, some other day, or even never? So if you don't want to be reminded about tasks that are just scheduled for sometime this week, and never, and then you won't be. And same thing about the your monthly task. If I've got a task just scheduled for November, do I want on the 1st of November to provide, hey, you got this task scheduled for November, or is it more by the 20th, I want to be reminded that, oh, this task was never put into a more specific time and it's still sitting there in the, November section of my planner. Okay, so that's the app. That's everything you need to be a real power user, to be that person who's super organized and on top of all their tasks and knows exactly how busy they are, if they can say yes to a new opportunity, or if they, have the kind of the power and the knowledge they need to be able to say no. So go get started. Go create goals to be your categories for your tasks, and go round up all those other to-do lists you have laying around, and get them all in here so you can start getting organized. I recommend starting in general with the scheduling. Put those tasks in for this month or next month, or even further down the line, and then look at this month and break it down in terms of how you're gonna get all this great stuff done. FYI, this is my personal YouTube channel where I talk about productivity and organization, but as the owner of Simply.Digital, who make Simply Goals and Tasks, there's a fair amount of content here about this app specifically. I would really recommend my goal planning video where I walk through that exercise I mentioned earlier of planning out your perfect week. And then that'll tell you exactly what your goals in Simply Goals and Tasks should be. And I'm recording this in October, as you could see looking at my phone here. But goodness knows when you're watching it. Though I do have a planning your December video that I think is like another really great one for a new Simply Goals and Tasks user to watch. In the December video, the examples are all holiday season related, but the same kind of principles of planning and breaking it down would also apply for like start of the school year or vacation or just day-to-day craziness, like any kind of project planning. So I'll put links to those two videos on screen and in the description. Also, if you want to reach me like in a comment or an email, hearing from users is like sunshine to me, so I'm always very happy to hear from people. And otherwise, I'll see you in that other video.